so we won't know where we're going. You okay? Okay. Okay?
So if you want to see that, and it's certainly worth seeing, get in touch with the Radio Times, because they know how you can acquire tickets and I don't. In the meantime, contain your excitement while I tell you about tonight's Mafia movie, My Blue Heaven. 1 week Goodfellas, the next week The Freshman, and now this. Who's running Hollywood these days? The Godfather? Anyway, My Blue Heaven, Steve Martin is the mafioso who's turned state's evidence, and Rick Moranis is the FBI agent charged with settling him anonymously somewhere in small-town USA until he can give evidence at a big mob trial. From the very casting, you'll know at once that this is a comedy, a fish-out-of-water comedy, the fun deriving from the larcenous Martin's attempts to adapt, or initially his failure to adapt, to a life of folksy, have-a-nice-day honesty. Out of sheer boredom, he organises a mini crime wave out there in the sticks, and this brings him into conflict with the uptight district attorney, Joan Cusack.
What was his name?
Eddie.
Eddie what?
That's all I know, except he drives a Blue Nova.
The car you were picked up in was not a Blue Nova. It was a green Chrysler.
Oh. Well, that explains it. I jump-started the wrong car. I was in a hurry. I was on my way to church to say a few novenas for Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving is not a Catholic holiday.
Thanksgiving is very big with the Italians. Turkey cacciatore, sweet potato parmesan.
There is no such thing as Thanksgiving in Italy. It is an American holiday. And I've been to Italy. It's not
To
even...
Florence, right?
Yes.
Ever been to Sicily by any chance?
No.
Thanksgiving is very big in Sicily on account of the large number of Sicilians who went to America and then got thrown back out.
Sounds kind of plausible. Well, this is a fairly predictable yarn in which not too much happens except that large amounts of embarrassment are heaped upon the unfortunate Moranis. But Nora Ephron's screenplay and Herbert Ross's direction change and develop the characters very agreeably. Steve Martin, sporting a haircut as bizarre in its way as Harrison Ford's in Presumed Innocent, is both funny and likeable as an easygoing New York hood, and Rick Moranis makes an excellent foil, playing, as it were, Ernie Wise to Martin's Eric Morecambe. Nice support, too, from Joan Cusack and Melanie Mayron as the uniformed cop with a crush on the town's new friendly neighbourhood gangster. Morally, of course, the film is very dubious because it makes the mafia look like fun. But it's a sort of fairy tale, so perhaps we shouldn't get our knickers in a twist about that. Well, next week we have a hideously deformed Liam Neeson in The Dark Man, and we take a close-up look at the elaborate costumes of those teenage mutant ninja turtles. But for now, here's a scene from Air America, which stars action man Mel Gibson, and is yet another entry in the London Film Festival. Until next Tuesday night at 10:20, goodbye.
Okay, the kid likes to fly.
The fall of the Berlin Wall on the 9th of November 1989 has become one of the most potent images of freedom. To celebrate the anniversary of this symbol of the peaceful revolution, Oscar-winning filmmaker Marcel Ophuls traces some of those who crossed the wall on that historic night and weaves their stories with those of the politicians and the party members that history has left behind. The hopes, fears and expectations of the East German people, an Inside Story special, November Days, this Friday at 10:20 on BBC One.